Hello and welcome to Community Connection. I'm Alicia Bergio. Coming up, a Broadway star hits the stage and takes us back in time. And later, we'll check out the journey of two MSU students who stepped into the role of filmmaking. But first, how the legacy of a young man whose life was taken too soon is carried on in the Okemos community.
Hi, I'm Elaine Nevels, my husband Michael. We are parents of Adam Nevels. We lost Adam in an automobile accident in front of the high school 6 years ago. We determined his best legacy would be to set up a scholarship program in his name. We set up the 4 areas that Adam was very strongly involved in: athletics, band, music, Boy Scouts, and his church. So every year we give scholarships out in the amount of $3,500 total in those 4 areas. In the past 6 years, we've managed to grant over $21,000 in scholarships. The initial base of the scholarship fund was his life insurance. We determined that would be the best use for that, and then the donations just poured in.
Matthew is actually the catalyst behind the Memorial Fund, coming up with all these fun events. We returned from Adam's funeral and Matthew announced that we were at a crossroad and had 2 choices. We could go hide in a corner and be devastated because Adam, and then we couldn't change the outcome of a fatal car accident, but we certainly had control of how we went forward. And he said that he was going to choose to celebrate Adam's life. That bolstered Elaine and I. That was the beginnings of the Community Foundation, and we've challenged all of Adam's friends and teammates too. We want to tell Adam stories. The annual wrestling tournament, the alumni water polo game, the golf outing serve a dual purpose. We want to celebrate Adam's life and have everybody that knew and loved him be able to get together and have a good time. We're not going to sit in a corner and cry because we're all mortal, and as Matthew said, everybody has a red pickup truck in their future. We just don't know what it is and when it's going to happen. The night after Adam's accident, the band and the classmates of Okemos High School got together and they did a candlelight vigil for Edgewood Elementary. It's here in the neighborhood, and they walked in. There were several hundred people out in front of the house here with candlelight. It was dead silent. Okemos is a community, and we would not have survived such a terrible tragedy in our lives without all of his coaches, teachers, scout leaders. It's a community. We're trying to provide to area youth those things that were stolen from Adam by the car accident. So getting a $1,000 scholarship and being able to buy a saxophone and take it with you to the University of Michigan, buying soccer equipment to give to youth people. These are young soccer players. These are some of the things that kids have done with the money that Adam's generated, and it puts something in their heart and gives them a chance to go forward. We know that he's looking down on us at 2 and smiling at 2 because doing this with the scholarships and keeping his spirit alive through other young people would put a smile on his face.
If you're interested in donating to Adam's Memorial Fund, you can go to his GoFundMe page to donate and share that on Facebook and Twitter. Next up, a history buff shares with us the ins and outs of Meridian Township.
My name is Jane Rose, and I'm the Executive Director of the Meridian Historical Village. I'm such a history geek. And proud of it, because I get very excited when I learn something and I can say, I didn't know that. And when I find out something like that, I want to share it. I've written books before. I've written a lot of history articles for magazines. I write our organization's newsletter. And like I say, anytime I can find out something that I can put in there that said, did you know? And so that starts to grow, and then you start thinking about, well, I've got a lot of trivia and tidbits, and a lot of people don't know those, and I think they would probably enjoy learning about why did this happen? When did it happen? Oh, that makes so much more sense now. And so that's when I started thinking about a book. A couple of years ago, I was approached by Arcadia Publishing And they are responsible for all the Images of America series. And they will come into a community, they'll contact the local library and say, do you know of anybody in your area who is a local historian and might be interested in writing a book? A couple of years ago, they approached the Okemos Library, and so I was contacted, and I seriously considered it. But once I saw the time frame, and I was getting very busy trying to plan the Fall Heritage Festival, and I just said, I can't do it. Well, then I was approached again a year ago. This time they contacted the Hazlitt Library. They said, do you happen to know anybody? And I thought, well, I've always wanted to do this. Why don't you make time? My writing process is I have to be motivated. I think any author will tell you that. But every once in a while something will click. You know, you'll worry about it, you'll say, how am I going to approach that? And then all of a sudden something clicks, and bingo, you can write 8-10 pages, you know, in one day. And then you might go 2, 3, 4 days just thinking about it. My favorite part of writing the book is coming up with surprises for people. For example, there's a very, very small chapter in there, and it's called The Forgotten Hamlet. Well, I'm sure township residents have driven through that forgotten hamlet many, many times. Probably some of them wondered, why are these houses all clustered around the South Railroad tracks off of Meridian Road? They never knew what it was. And so to be able to explain that, it's a big aha for the reader. But yeah, there's so many interesting things in the book. You can find the book at Schuler's Bookstore, both the Okemos site, or if you're on the west side of the state, they also have it at the Grand Rapids Schuler's. They have it at the Okemos Walgreens. And of course, here at the Historical Village, we have it available in our gift shop. And so if you buy it here at the Village, a portion of the proceeds come back to the Friends of Historic Meridian, which, you know, is something important to me because we've spent 41 years now preserving the history of this township. I'd be happy to consider a book, but I think really this is my area of expertise. Perhaps in another decade or so, if I've gathered enough information, I'll take another try at it.
After Jane gathers more information, she mentioned that she may enlighten us with a sequel. When we come back, gourmet food and musicals like you've never seen, next on Community Connection.
Up, college is hard. Down, those books are heavy.
My sport is football, but my passion is education. So every year I take promising high schoolers on a college tour to show them that higher education means a brighter future. My name is Nnamdi Asamoah. I don't just wear the shirt, I live it.
You can be a reader, tutor, or mentor too. Take the pledge at liveunited.org/volunteer.
Do you wear this?
I come from a big family. I'm the oldest of 6. To me, being the first person to go to college, it's like setting a standard, you know? My little brother is 8 years old now. I challenge his curiosity. I challenge him to dream. I have to paint a picture for him that he can look up to and live up to and possibly be better than. My name is Jaquez, and I am your dividend.
Welcome back. Feel free to relax and indulge because one local chef is taking us behind the wheel and inside of her mouth-watering business.
Hi, I'm Nina Santucci. I'm one of the owners of the Purple Carrot. I was raised in East Lansing, and then when I graduated high school, moved to the Philadelphia area for college, which is where I met my husband working in a restaurant together. Growing up in Michigan, I thought that this might be a nice place to be just because we both were so interested in the idea of seasonal cooking and farm to table and those types of ideas. And Michigan has just such an abundance of great things growing here. And one thing we really liked about Lansing was kind of where it was located and what we had access to. And once we opened the food truck and we saw that there was at least enough people to support the food truck who were interested in eating, food that was prepared from scratch from sources, right in our backyard, kind of propelled us into opening up the restaurant. So that's kind of where we came from and how we ended up here.
After our second season of the food truck, we opened up our restaurant, Red Haven, and haven't really looked back.
So Red Haven, the name comes from the peach Red Haven, which is kind of in line with the Purple Carrot, where we'd like to have a different fruit or vegetable that represents the restaurant or kind of food concept. We wanted to do something kind of similar to a tasting menu, but we thought that was maybe too big of a step to take compared to kind of some of the other restaurants that are successful here in town. So what we figured we would do is kind of the next best thing, which is small plates. So more or less the idea is that when a person comes in, they can pick a variety of small plates that will be shared amongst the table, and more or less you're getting to create your own tasting menu.
So the menu at the Purple Carrot is all sourced locally, which means that every week we do an entire new menu. A lot of soups and sandwiches, salads will be on the menu, and we offer a lot of local beans that make our sandwiches, but then we also do quite a bit of vegetarian and vegan fare as well. So we try to have something that appeals to everyone and keep the menu fun and interesting. And a lot of times we'll see favorites come back, but maybe with a new seasonal ingredient. We have, for example, a crispy chicken sandwich that's really popular. It has almond and chili flake crust. And so maybe in the spring you'll see it with a strawberry jam and herb aioli, but then later in the summer you might do something with fresh zucchini and summer squash claw and basil sauce.
Just kind of the community that we've built within the restaurant has been a pretty exciting thing, from the staff that we have, and then the customers who have been coming, some weekly or monthly, or every year you see them on their anniversary. I mean, I think the community that kind of comes within it, the circle of farmers that we have built around it, I mean, it's really this kind of lovely group of people who we get to work with, work for, every single day. When we first opened, our success was almost 100% based on the loyal following that we have at the Purple Carrot. And we would see so many faces that you knew by name from coming to the truck on a regular basis. And now we have more people who come because we've been open longer than just the people who go to the food truck. But for sure, I would say every day I can look out in the dining room at some point and pick out a customer who started going to the food truck when we first opened 5 years ago.
Not only is the food made from scratch, but it also comes directly from your backyard. Coming up next, we're hitting the stage of the Wharton Center and traveling back in time to the 1800s.
My name is Hannah Ellis, and Hannah is a palindrome with H at the end.
It's Joe Barros. I'm the director of the show and the choreographer.
So today we're giving a little preview of a show called For Tonight. It's a new musical, and we're here at Michigan State University collaborating with the Department of Theater at the Wharton Center.
It's this beautiful story about home, but it's ultimately about two communities who are very different and disconnected, and how they sort of embrace fear. And then it's not until they embrace what makes them celebrated and special and unique that they ultimately come together through love, home, and the power of music.
Let's pretend this for tonight, that this is all we need. And I think for me, the show is a lot about home. It's a lot about what is home and the difference between family, who you are with family, and then who you are finding yourself as an individual.
The way that the cast sort of organically creates the story almost out of nothing, just small props, is really exciting to me.
I'm playing a character named Marilla. She's this lovely Romani girl who's adventurous and full of life and looking for something more, I think, as most of us do.
People should come see the show because this is the beginning of a journey for a show that's very special.
Very thankful, very happy to be here. New musicals are my favorite thing.
I think the show is going to have a really long life. It's a beautiful piece of theater.
Come out and have a new experience. See something new, hear music you've never heard before, and bring a friend.
Broadway sensation Hannah Ellis made her debut in Godspell and is currently working on a musical called Bright Star. Still to come, the magic of movies, and we get a look at some delectable locally grown heirloom tomatoes.
Here's to the things that can keep us safe. Those we use all the time with hardly a thought. Those that are silently standing by to save our lives. And now, those that we carry with us everywhere we go. Many mobile devices will now bring you wireless emergency alerts, real-time information directly from local sources you know and trust. With the unique sound and vibration, you'll be in the know, wherever you are.
So, my human adopted me in June, which is Cat Adoption Month. And I've received nothing but love and attention. And toys. Toys galore. All from me. I'm a pampered princess. Did I mention I'm a princess? Then October came. And so did he. Hey! That's my toy. Get your paws off of it. That throne is for princesses only. I guess he's okay, but I won't let him know that. Adopt a furry friend today. Who knows, they may just become yours or someone else's best friend. Peace, love, adopt.
Lights, camera, action. Here's a look behind the lens at how two MSU students have stepped into the world of filmmaking.
My name is Kyle Bro, and I am going to be a senior here at MSU. As far back as I can remember, I just remember watching movies with my mom and kind of just absolutely just fell in love with it. And I've always kind of loved creating stories, and I figured this would be the best outlet for me to kind of get that passion out, would be like physically creating something. Personal projects and film is my life. I mean, I don't see myself doing anything else in life, but balancing school is tough sometimes because, you know, I want to do good, I want to be successful in school, but then I also want to be working on what I love. So balancing that's difficult. I do a ton of side projects. Me and Ben have our own YouTube channel where we it's just a place to showcase our work, you know. Ben Weber is a really good friend of mine. We met, I want to say high school about 8 years ago. I remember I was working on a short film called Rogue, and he was doing the VFX, and after that we're like, wow, we make a really good team.
So my name is Ben Weber. I met Kyle about 8 years ago through a game called Gears of War. We played online together. We just were like talking. He was interested in making movies. At the time I was more so interested in art and computers. I started helping him out with his stuff and I came to love it. I have lost count on how many projects we've worked on together, whether it be something for school or just our own personal stuff. Pretty much everything that he does, I help with, and everything that I do, he helps out with.
We did a short film called The Cure. We did that film about 3 years ago, maybe 4 years ago, about a special forces group during a zombie infested world, and their job was to go out and save people, thus the name The Cure. Like they were physically a cure going to save people, and we had about 20 extras come be zombies. We had about 10 actors, so we had about 40 people out there. We shot a Friday and Saturday, just knocked it out of the park, and that one was a lot of fun. So the project that me and Ben currently are working on, we're almost getting to production. We're still a little bit in pre-production. Project called Reapers. Our goal is to film this one and submit it to film festivals. That's kind of a great way to be seen and get out there. Like I said, the YouTube route's awesome, but film festivals are more specifically, I guess, for that audience, you know, rather than YouTube, you throw it out there and anybody can see it, you know. But film festivals kind of market to that field, and it's a good way to see your work seen by other professionals like that, and jobs can come from that. We've never really submitted something yet, but I feel like after all the shorts and all the projects we've done so far on YouTube, and with our experience that we've had working together and growing on every project we do, I really feel this is the time. Our goal, probably because our film is a thriller, horror, drama-ish type film. There's a lot of underground film festivals that kind of specialize in that, or like after dark film festivals. So that will probably be more of our crowd, going to a darker film festival, because our content material isn't for the faint of heart in this one. It's kind of deep, brutal, but there's also a message there, and there's a message of importance. So hopefully we'll be able to get that across, and I guess that's up to us, so hopefully me and Ben can execute that, and you know, that's what it's about, basically, getting that story across. Really though, I don't see myself doing anything else. I'm just very thankful to have a good friend base and a great community who is willing to give their time to help out other people with their dreams.
Kyle and Ben have worked on countless films together, but Reaper is one of the first films that they will be submitting to a film festival. And lastly, one local farmer takes us on a walk through his organic farm where only the most flavorful vegetables are grown.
And I started out growing vegetables. Started right away with heirloom tomatoes, experimenting with the various varieties back in 2001. And the first year had planted them too close together and didn't get any tomatoes at all out of it. So it's really a learning process, but the work is good. I've always liked working outside and growing things since I was 5 years old probably. First batch of radishes, I was hooked.
I met Phil at the farmer's market during the summer, and we were looking for tomato plants. And my dad was talking to him and mentioned that I had taken some courses in gardening, and Phil kind of offered me a job working out here, and I accepted. And it kind of was a fateful day that I ended up staying here for the remaining, 4 years.
One of the great side benefits of working on a farm is that you're always interfacing with nature, and especially here. As far as the day-to-day on the farm are really regimented. People have a sort of sometimes an idealized view of an organic farm, and how, a romanticized view of it. Today is Thursday, so we're able to start right away. And the cultural side of things, which would be weeding and planting fall crops, so I can plant today and harvest for the CSA, which we have this afternoon. Friday is preparation for Saturday, so Fridays we'll harvest for the Meridian Market, which is on Saturday. Meridian Market, we started that in '02. So we've been doing this for 14 years now. We go to 3 farmers markets in the Lansing area, Meridian, East Lansing, and Allen Street. We sort of wanted to get into the niche crops. We probably grow 20-some varieties of tomatoes, 6, 7 types of potatoes, grow garlic. That initially was a niche, and probably 50-some types of vegetables.
By the time we do get to the market, we get to decide which vegetable is going to go where, which is going to attract your customers, preferably by hot item that they're most likely going to be seeking. And this season's going to be tomatoes, so we like to put the tomatoes up front. And then there's going to be a certain variety of color they're going to be attracted to when it comes to the tomatoes, so maybe we could put the bright yellow ones up front, and then put their favorite Cherokee purples kind of next to those, and then you have these bright orange sun gold cherries. So it's kind of a little painting of vegetables on your table.
I guess what I really like about it is that we have a diversity of customers, and we've got some friends there. Over the years, I see regular customers, and they become my friends in food, and we're able to provide them with what they want. We can give them background information on how things were grown. They in turn can tell me how they use it in recipes, and I can share that stuff too.
Phil has been selling his fresh produce for 14 years at the Meridian, East Lansing, and Allen Street farmers markets, and continues to gain recognition for his hard work. That's it for this episode of Community Connection. If you have any questions or comments about Home TV's programming, or if you'd like to see someone featured on our show, you can contact us at 517-349-1232, or you can visit us online at HOMTV.net. I'm Alicia Bergio. Thank you for watching.